I have made a terribly embarrassing mistake. But rather than hide it and shy away from it all and take the video down, last week's video, I'm going to use it as an opportunity to teach people and explain my mistake and probably span a couple videos about it. If you remember me saying this in last week's video, there are 12 to 16 to 18 different identities that need to be thought about by anyone who is planning to transition or feels that they are transgender in any way, shape, or form along this array. And I actually want to read, I believe I have 10 of these, intersex. I want to tell everyone right here, right now, straight up, that's wrong. It's very wrong, and it was a huge mistake on my part. I'm very sorry about it. Here's the deal. In that video, I ended up messing up my layout. Huge problem. And I honestly feel that I need a lot more sleep because I didn't even catch it while I was doing the video. What happened was I was planning to talk about that as a major issue, but I ended up putting it as a sub-point in what is transgendered and what is not, which is wrong. So I'm saying it right here. Intersex people are not transgendered. They are their own people in GLBT. Actually, GLBT is GLBTQI, and the I stands for intersex because it is very, very different. Now, I want to talk about the reason why they are different in order to, one, kind of apologize to the intersex community. So what I wanted to talk about in this video is how different they are. I want to talk about the intersex community, which I actually find to be very, very courageous people. And I actually have a couple friends who are intersex, so naturally I'm kind of ashamed of the fact that it was in a video where I was talking about the transgendered community. Kind of seems very, very hypocritical of me, and it was quite an ironic mistake. Disclaimer, I am not an expert on the whole intersex thing. In fact, I only got a lot of my information from an intersex friend, and because of that, I may or may not say some things that are not completely true. And I'm saying this right now so that anyone and everyone can correct me. If you are intersexed and you feel that it's not true, then by all means, toss it in the comments. If you are in any way, shape, or form angry by what I say, then tell me, toss it in the comments, and I would love to see a response video. So, beginning with the whole thing. The difference between intersex and transgendered people, because they are not the same, is that transgendered people is represented as a mental incongruency with one's birth sex. What that means is that for transgendered people, their mind does not match the same gender as is their body. For intersexed people, it's literally differences in their body. And this can be represented in hormones, chromosomes, DNA, anatomy, etc. So because of that huge difference in everything, intersex people have a huge host of things that are very different from the transgendered world. While we have to take hormones and everything, and many intersex people have to as well, we don't end up with something called genital cutting, which is a very wrong thing to do, and I've gotten a lot of talks about this, and I actually very much so agree with the intersex community that handling intersex children needs to be taken care of with a lot more finesse than is given. You can't just completely change a person's sex without them knowing about it, without them giving permission, and you can't just say so because they're not completely male and not completely female. There are some things that you should just leave be. One of the biggest things in the intersex community is the fact that they go through a lot of physical pain and anguish from genital cutting, for instance, whereas just because a intersex woman has a very large clitoris, they cut it, and that's painful, and that removes a lot of senses from her later on in life. And there's a lot of different things that can happen. Intersex is an array, just like the transgender community is. However, it is physical. You have physical things going on with it. Now, what I want to do is apologize to the intersex community a lot, because it was a very bad thing. But to everyone else, I want to say two things. One, I make mistakes, and I'm really sorry about that, and I have been doing videos for a solid year, over a year, and this is the first time I have made such a huge mistake. I'm really sorry about it, and I don't want it to happen again, but the reality is it probably will. What I want you to do because of that is, if you have anything that you think is wrong in any of my videos, tell me. Toss it in the comments, give a response video, anything. Become your own expert. If you know something that I don't, by all means, share it. And I don't mean to say this in a rude way or anything like that, but please handle it with a little finesse. Handle it with not yelling at me or anything, but simply telling me, this is wrong, here's why, here's some evidence, research, etc. And in some cases, you don't even have to go that far. Just go, I think that you should look this up because this is wrong and I am offended. It's not a huge deal for me to say, I'm very sorry. But when it's like, I am very insulted and you're spewing off profanities and things like that in a personal message, don't yell at me for it. Tell me why I'm wrong, and I'm probably going to respond the same way. Number 2, down in the descriptions I actually tossed a couple resources on the intersex community because I am not an expert on the subject. This is one of the biggest reasons why I tell people to do their own research, because if you take my expert advice for it, I could potentially mislead you. This is a prime example. So take different resources. Your knowledge of transgender issues and GLBT issues and intersex issues should be a culmination of the things that you have read, seen, and heard. It should not just be, well, Samantha said this. It should be, well, I got this from this place, and this from this place, and this from this place. This is what I took from it, and this is what I actually think. So in conclusion, just kind of want to sum it all up by saying, 1, I'm really sorry to the intersex community. I really don't mean it. I have intersex friends, and I feel really, really terrible for this incredibly hypocritical and very ironic way of pretty much insulting an entire subunit of people. And I'm really sorry about that. I really, really am, and I hope you guys take my apology, because I really do mean it. Everyone else, please do your own research. I shouldn't be your own resource, because it seems like a lot of people are trusting me a lot, and I know that I have said a lot about doing your own research, but I'm not too sure if you guys believe me. I'm probably going to do more videos about this, but I'm telling you guys right now, I make mistakes, and I understand that, and I try to keep them out of my YouTube videos. You guys know me, I plan things, but I get tired. I have a very busy life, and this just happens every once in a while. I don't want it to, but it's inevitable, especially with how long I plan to be on YouTube. So that's pretty much it, and I will see you guys on Trans Youth tomorrow, and next time on this channel, maybe in about a week. I'm very sorry, guys. Bye.